I saw Hamilton. Hello, lovely theater kids, and welcome back to Theater Inspired. It has been a while since I got a chance to make a video, and that's mostly because I moved out of where I was living. I'm in a new apartment now. I'm working 2 jobs, and so finding the time to film was not necessarily on my top priority list. But I am back now, and I'm hopefully going to be doing more than just one video every few months now. So let's get started. So today I'm going to be filming 2 reviews of recent Broadway shows I was able to see, and they will be put out at different times. So here is the first one. Alright, so October 7th, I was able to win the lotto for the show, and I went with one of my best friends, Megan, from school, and we sat second row center for $10, and oh my lord, like, I knew I was going to love this show because it's amazing, but I didn't realize how much I was going to love this. I was really scared that I was going to walk in there and it wasn't going to live up to the hype. It wasn't going to be as good as everyone said it was. But oh my god, my expectations were blown out of the water. It was absolutely mind-blowing. I love this show, and it's a show that you need to see live. It's not one of those shows that you can just like get the feel of through the soundtrack. Heathers, you can get the feel of the show and you know what's happening on stage when you listen to the cast recording. Hamilton, you have no idea. You are picturing it in your head one way, and then you see it on stage, and Andy Blankenbuehler, Tommy Kail, Lin-Manuel Miranda, they were all so amazing in the show. It's so hard for me to talk about it because that's how amazing it is. Their partnership with this show is just absolutely incredible. Every single little intricacy of this show deserves all the hype it got, and all the hype it is still getting. The lighting design, the set design, the ensemble, the leads. It is a spectacular, spectacular show. And one of the things that I loved in this entire piece is how much of an ensemble piece it truly, truly is. Like, for example, just because Lexi Lawson is Eliza doesn't mean she's not out doing other numbers that Eliza's not necessarily featured in. She is out there up on the little balcony on the stage, still singing and doing the movements, passing around props, handling things like any other ensemble member. Just because she has a principal role doesn't mean she's not involved with every other element of the show. And I found that to be spectacular because when I was in college, we had a director who was always telling us that every show is an ensemble-driven show. No matter what it is, the ensemble is not just the people in the chorus, it is the entire cast. And we have to help out and be aware of every single element of every single part of the show. And seeing Hamilton really drove that fact home for me, that this is an ensemble show and everyone is involved with every single moment. Now, our cast was absolutely amazing. We had Daniel Breaker on as Aaron Burr, and that man came out and he said the first line and he was already turned up to 100, and by the end of Act 1 he was at like a 300, and by the end of the show he was at like a 700. He just kept building and building and building, and I absolutely loved that. And my friend Megan and I, we both said after watching the show, this is why the actor who played Burr got the Tony. Because Burr has such a complicated and wonderful story arc through history that makes him such an integral part of every single element. Mandy Gonzalez was amazing as Angelica, and Lexi Lawson as Eliza. Oh my god, she is so incredible. One of my favorite moments from her was during the Stay Alive reprise in It's Quiet Uptown. And during the Stay Alive reprise, like, this isn't in the cast recording, so I wasn't really prepared for it, and I was a good girl and didn't watch the bootleg like a lot of people did. So I was going into this show completely blind. And after Philip dies, she lets out this most guttural, like, cry. There was something deep down inside that, like, brought that out, and I loved that moment. And especially too during It's Quiet Uptown, I love the moment when the entire scene is basically just Eliza standing still on the stage as Hamilton's talking to her. It's almost like a very robotic stance in a way, and she doesn't move until he takes her hand. They stand there in silence and they cry together. Like, they're not looking at each other, they are staring at the audience like I'm looking at you guys right now, and they just stand there and they cry, and you see those tears run through the makeup on their face, and oh my god, it's just gut-wrenching, and you just feel everything that these two characters are feeling, and it's hard to watch because, like, you want to cry with them. And all of Hamilton's buddies, James Monroe Iglehart, J. Quinton Johnson, Anthony Lee Medina, they were so much fun, and they bring so much to every single role they play in that show, because they play obviously multiple roles. And I need to shout out my girl Johanna A. Jones, because she's Peggy, and as a lot of you know, I am Peggy. I will always be Peggy, and I love her. We had Brian Terrell Clark as our Washington, and he was so powerful and commanding of the stage. It was amazing the work he did. Now, Javi unfortunately wasn't on for our performance, but we did see Donald Glover Jr. as Hamilton, and oh my god, he is such an incredible actor, and I wish him all the best in the future because he deserves those big giant roles like Hamilton, and he played it so incredibly well. I don't even know what to say. He made us feel every single feeling and emotion and thought that was going through Hamilton's head, and he was just incredible. I know I'm basically just saying how amazing this show was, but it's one of those shows that it's hard to explain if you haven't seen it. And that's why I'm basically just gonna say, everybody play the lotto, everybody save up your money, buy tickets for when it comes to your town, or if you're going to New York, Chicago, LA, anywhere. You need to see this most glorious piece of theater. It is astounding and incredible with every single element of the show. The book, the score, the lighting, the set, the cast, the music, everything is just absolutely amazing. And the staging of it all brings the soundtrack we have been listening to for years to life. And I will never, ever, ever be more grateful to the lottery gods and to Hamilton for showing what incredible theater really is. So I hope you guys get the chance to see this show someday, be it in New York or anywhere else in the world. I hope you guys get to see this amazing piece of theater because it deserves to be seen for years and years to come. Alright, I will see you next week for my next review of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I'll see you later, guys. Stay beautiful. Bye.